For anyone who has wrestled with a foreign language, the appeal of learning through comics is obvious. After all, what could be more fun than reading a new comic and simultaneously picking up new vocabulary at the same time? And yet, for all their popularity, few people realize how comics can be an effective tool for learning a new language. Bonjour à tous, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about how you can use comics to learn a new language. In addition to being enjoyable, comics provide a unique number of benefits that make them suitable for language learning. For example, the visual nature of comics makes them ideal for learners who are struggling to remember new vocabulary. The images that accompany each word help form an understanding of what's being said, which makes it easier to understand both the context and vocabulary. When you are a beginner, reading a book in a foreign language can be daunting because it often contains a lot of vocabulary that you do not understand. But in contrast, the images in a comic are attractive and visually engaging. The stories are meant to catch and hold our attention. If you are interested in learning why stories are an effective way to learn a new language, please be sure to check out my previous video on how to use Netflix to learn a new language, which should appear on the top of the screen. The comic book researcher Dale Jacobs argues that comics are not just a simple form of entertainment, but rather considers it to be incredibly complex and nuanced. The website FluentU mentions that comics are sequential art, which means the story is told through a series of art images. Those drawings actually force readers to align languages with images, so a connection is made between the vocabulary, image, and action. And this act of engaging the different cues, that is spatial, linguistic, gestural, and visual, is very similar to the nature of our daily interactions and is therefore a more effective method for learning for beginners as opposed to traditional language textbooks. If you are anything like me, you love comics. But until very recently, I spent hours and hours reading comics the old school way. If I was reading a physical comic book, I would manually type in the words that I did not understand into Google Translate. And if I read the digital version of the comic on my laptop, then I would still have to copy and paste the words into Google Translate. And I found this practice to be a bit cumbersome. The act of copy pasting or manually typing the words into Google Translate somehow seemed to break the flow and took the joy out of reading a comic book. So I was looking for something more fluid, perhaps a tool that would give me a live translation of words in real time. And that's when I came across this incredibly useful app called AR Translator. This app uses augmented reality to provide instant translations. To show how this app works, I'm going to use the French version of a Tintin comic called L'Île Noire. Here's how it works. You first open the AR Translator app and you go to the AR mode, which is the augmented reality mode. You see the screen with a white dot in the center. You then choose the language that you want to see your translation in. So I'm going to choose English. Now, let's say you're reading Tintin and you do not understand a particular word. So I'm going to point this white dot on this word called piège. So you can see that it provides the translation right on top of the word, and you can have this other word which is called loup. I don't know what it means, so let's find out what it is. And you can see that it means wolf. You can also translate the entire line, and then if you want, you can save this word so that you can refer back to it later. You also have the photo option, which can translate entire boxes of text. So you click a picture and you get a translation of the entire word bubble. So hopefully you can begin to see why this app is useful. I found myself reading much longer and learning a lot more vocabulary in a shorter period of time. The only downside is that this is a paid app and charges around 10 euros a month, but the app comes with a free 7-day trial, so you can check it out if you are interested. Now, for those of us who are on a budget, there is a free alternative in the Google Translate app. Now, this app has the camera translate option, which does a real live translation. So if you point at this text, it translates it immediately. So this is a great substitute to the paid AR Translator app. I found this app to have lesser options than the AR Translate app, such as a single word translation or the line translation, but this is still a great substitute to the paid AR Translator app. So this is my method of using comics to learn a language. I've linked the apps and the other resources in the description below. If you like this method, please be sure to check out my video on the quickest and cheapest way to learn French, which should appear on the screen sometime soon. If you know other creative ways of learning a language, please be sure to drop them in the comments below. All the best on your language learning journey. If you like this video, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.